Hey everyone, welcome. We are Team BAJA.
Hi.
This is
Adriana Marshall.
Byron Bry.
Ashley Smith.
and I'm Jesse Holder, and we'll be analyzing Rafe Esquis, Lighting Their Fires, and each of these guys were assigned a chapter, and basically we're just going to go over the summary and what was learned and some key elements of each one of those chapters. So, Adriana, we'll start off with you. Adriana, I'm sorry.
Okay. I had the first chapter. The pregame. It was a pregame. Damn.
I can look it up.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
You were telling me earlier about a quote that you wanted to start off with.
Right. Rafe Esquis. He's a brilliant writer and teacher at what he does. Just by reading my little part of my assignment, he started off with, I guess, really saying that children are born with smarts and intelligence, but it's not about the smarts that they begin with. It's about what the parent and the teachers themselves apply to the kids' smarts that's gonna guarantee their success. He also gives us an example of experience he and his kids encountered. He's a 30-year plus teacher, and he has season tickets to the Dodgers game. So he decides to take his after-school tutoring programs. He has various ones, but this particular one studies Shakespeare, and he decided to take them to one of the Dodgers games. And during their tour, they were introduced to a tour guide who seemed like she was very tired to begin with. But throughout the tour, the kids had been noticing pictures and works of art, and one particular stood out to them. A man, Henry Fonda, he was an actor, I guess during the 19th centuries or whatever. And he, one of them said, "Hey, is that Henry Fonda?" And she kind of like bucked her eyes, like in surprise, like, "How would you know about this man who died 25 years ago? Like, you don't know him." And so it kind of surprised her. And this kid, Caesar, he basically just kind of gave her a synopsis of Henry and his works of art and movies and what he did. He did The Grapes of Wrath. And later on, after all this was accomplished, the tour guide kind of pulled Mr. Rafe aside and was like, "That is amazing that these kids know information well beyond their educational level." And she complimented him, told him he was doing a great job, an excellent job, and to kind of just like motivating him. But Mr. Rafe's point was that he loves doing what he does, and he's one of those teachers who goes above and beyond his call of duty to guarantee that his kids whom he teaches are successful. And he also states that in order for us as aspiring teachers, in order for us to be successful in our field, in our careers, that we need to be able to put forth that effort and put forth that determination that these kids need. We need to instill this in them, and without that, we aren't doing our duties. And I just think that was excellent. It was inspiring. It was brilliant, actually, because I've never seen, well, in my many years, never seen a teacher who kind of just put forth that effort and kind of just went above and beyond, and I'm not going to teach you just only what the curriculum tells me to teach you, but I'm going to teach you above that and beyond. I'm going to put forth the hours after school, although there are teachers out there. I'm not saying it's not.
I think you said earlier to the effect that the tour guide was really surprised,
right,
and that her day was going badly,
right,
or something.
It was just tiring,
and after that happened, I mean, it adversely affected her.
Right.
You know, through his actions, just teaching a kid affected someone else like that.
Right.
And you touched on the season tickets.
Right.
And I think each chapter has something about the game.
And I had my chapter was second inning, keep your eye on the ball, and basically it was about being focused. And as I read through the chapter, what he said was what Rafe Eccles was saying makes a lot of sense. How can you learn if you can't pay attention?
Yeah.
And he also touched on about hyperactive kids, and he took a group of them to the Dodgers game, what she was saying with the season tickets. And I found this very interesting because I have a child that's quote unquote hyperactive. And I found a lot of what he was saying I could relate to it. And the first thing everyone wants to scream is get medication. But that's the easy way out. Medication is not the solution for every problem. It starts with the parents and the teachers. It takes time. It takes a lot of effort. And lots of parents and teachers are not willing to put the effort toward to have the kid to calm down and to find little, it's simple, like little games you can get, like everyone wants to put their child in front of video games and watch TV all day. Yeah, that's fine. But with a video game, if you do something wrong in a video game, what can you do?
Press reset.
Start it over again, reset.
Right.
So the kids grow up going through life thinking that, well, if I mess up, I can just reset or start over. That's not true. They end up doing wrong things, like, you can go to jail, all this and that. You can't mass reset. Once you make a mistake in life, or once you put down a wrong answer on a test, that's it. You can't go back and say, well, I got another start, I'll try again. But with that being said, as the kids were walking into the Dodgers game, there was a big sign up saying no beach balls, no weapons, none of that should be allowed into the game. Well, as they're sitting down watching the game, beach balls come out. The parents, adults, they start throwing around beach balls. Probably like 40 or 50 beach balls are going around the stadium. And the kids are looking at Mr. Eccles like, I thought they were not supposed to bring those in. And the kids start getting upset. Well, by the title of mine, Keep Your Eye on the Ball, as this ball is being thrown around, it hits an old man in the head and about knocks him down. And the students are getting very upset and about to cry. So he gets the kids. Well, the kids were all keeping score. They were keeping score of the game. He just told them to continue doing what they're doing, keep scoring the game. That's what their main focus was. Don't let distractions throw you off from what you're doing. I mean, your main goals or what you're trying to accomplish. And as the beach ball is being thrown around, one of the balls lands in front of a kid, and his father stands up and tells him, no, don't give the ball back, throw it again. His own father. And the kid, listening to his peer, become an adult, someone that's over him, he looks up to this is his role model, this is his father. He throws the ball and hits the man. Well, as the ball falls in front of another adult, the whole crowd is screaming, throw the ball again. And he looks and he hands the ball to the umpire, which was the right thing to do. He hands the beach ball in, and the crowd starts throwing stuff at him and cursing at him, getting onto him for making the right decision. Yeah. And so how are we to, as adults, we're not going to act right and expect for our kids to be these perfect people? That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So that was the main objective of my chapter, and that's what I got out of it. And like I said, I can relate to it, and it makes me want to read on into that book. Because
As far as an educator, what do you think you can, implement in your classroom?
First off, like in my classroom, I wouldn't have any like video games and things in my class. Like Rafe was saying, that it's more get games like Scramble, chess. That stuff that challenges your mind. It makes it grow, because just like anything you do, like repetition is the best way to learn anything. Whether you're playing baseball, football, learning in a classroom, you got to learn to pay attention. You can't just go and say, I'm going to pay attention, because you have kids that the smallest thing can happen and their attention is gone to that. So we got to learn to focus. First, we got to teach each other how to focus and stay on track versus just doing it.
Yeah.
Right.